Hello, hello, and welcome in. Today's live, I'm gonna wait to make sure that I'm actually live and everything is. Oh, I just realized I have eyeliner on my hand. I was out at Ulta, but I'm going to wait and see to make sure everybody is able to join. A little bit of time. So today my throat hurts a little bit. I feel like I'm at the beginning of a cold, but I'm not having that. I feel like something was coming through and I was like, no, I'm sorry, this is not happening. And so I have my tea here. It's chamomile and elderberry. And I'm gonna try to make this as short as possible because I don't want to strain my voice. And yeah, so I think it's a good time to get into it now. So this video is about how to build confidence in your 20s. So this is something that I really struggled with because I just didn't have a lot of life experience to go off of. So a lot of people think that confidence can come from like it's something that you just have or that you don't. But confidence comes from doing tasks repeatedly where you become good at what you're doing. That's how you build confidence. So a lot of people have this what is it called, like a misconception or like a skewed perception of what confidence is, of it being innate, but that's not how confidence works. And then you also have to say it's not just that you're confident, it's that you're confident at one specific thing, because you can't just be confident every single thing, because then you'd have to do every single thing to be confident in it. So it takes time to build confidence because it is through action and repetition that you actually build confidence. And it is through knowing what you want to build confidence in that actually gives you the clarity to just follow through on taking action, instead of just saying, oh, I don't really feel confident in what. You have to specify, like, what do you not feel confident in? And is this actually what you want to become an expert or you want to become confident in? Or is this something that was kind of like fed to you by society, by other people, by your parents, your friends? Is this something that you actually want to be confident in? Because then you'll have to actually take action in it. And when you set yourself out to, I have my notes here, by the way, I don't want to forget anything because I also want to just get to the point of everything. So if I'm looking down, I'm looking at my notes. But I just keep thinking back to my younger self, and it was not that long ago, but just earlier in my 20s, I used to think I had to just show up a certain way that didn't really align with me, and I had a hard time showing up. So I would always self-abandon or just kind of like procrastinate and just not show up. And it was because it was not towards something that I wanted to achieve. It was not towards something that I was personally excited about. And a lot of people think, oh, like I just don't have the motivation, I just don't have the willpower. But in reality, you have the willpower and you have the motivation. I don't even want to call it motivation because motivation is not necessarily something that's consistent, but you will have the willpower to go after what you want when it is in alignment with you, when it is something that you just decide to do and it feels good to go towards that thing that you want to do. If something doesn't feel good, and if it's something you're doing to impress someone else, and if it's something that you're doing to have people say, oh, I'm so cool, like, for doing this, or like your family validating you for doing that thing, then it's not in alignment with you. Unless it's, yeah, like two birds with one stone, like you love it and your family also wants you to pursue that thing. But if you're just doing it out of like to get validation from other people, you're not even going to have the confidence. Not the confidence. You're not going to have the willpower or discipline to go after it because it doesn't feel good to pursue it. So you want to choose something that is in alignment with you, feels good. In alignment to me is something that feels good to go towards. it just feels good in each moment. You don't have to think big picture right now, but just what feels good in this moment to pursue, and take action towards that, and take repeated, consistent action towards that. And that's how you build confidence. That is what I'm doing here in making these videos. I didn't just necessarily start off and I was like, oh yeah, I'm amazing at doing this. No, it takes consistent, repeated action, and then you gain confidence as you do it. So I just wanted to kind of say that in the beginning, because I also had this misconception about confidence being something you're either just born with or not. And I thought it was just like something you just feel about everything, but it has to be about certain things. And over time, as you build different skills, you just feel confident overall. So let me see in my notes here, and I'm going to drink some of my tea because my throat is starting to hurt a little bit. So I want to say one thing is, one way to do this is to build a mountain of evidence of things that you have, actions that you have taken, things that you have pursued, obstacles you have overcome. Literally even write them down if you need to, because if you feel like, oh, I don't feel confident, I don't think I've even overcome anything, I don't think I've ever like overcome any obstacle in life, I am 100% sure that that's not true, because there must be one thing that you've overcome, either big or small, that has brought you to this point in life. Whether it's maybe a hard test that you studied for and you passed and you actually got a better grade than you thought, or even just passed. Like, it could be literally anything that you've overcome that you didn't think that you could, and that you just took consistent action towards. And just literally make a list of all of these things, because you're building evidence for when your mind says, oh, I'm not really good at this, I don't think I can pursue this, I don't think I'm capable, because that comes up a lot when you don't feel confident about something, or when you're starting something new that obviously, like everybody, when they start something new, you don't have the skill and you don't feel confident in it. So like making this list and writing all of these things down is for your future self, when you need to see this list and you need to look at it and say, oh, I've overcome this and this and this, I can do this. It doesn't matter, it doesn't need to be perfect, it doesn't need to look any certain way, it doesn't have to go smoothly from the beginning, it doesn't ever have to go smoothly, because like you're just always going to be learning something new. And just make a list, and this is what you look at when you are just not, when you're in a place where you're like, I don't think I can do this, I don't think I'm capable of this. You go look at that list, and you know that this is just a skill that you build through repetition and consistency. It's not something that you just happen to be good at right away. So that's really important to know when you're starting, and it's really important to have that list, because then your mind doesn't get in the way. I don't know if I already mentioned this, but I think just knowing that it's okay to make mistakes, because everything is just a learning experience. Like you can't just beat yourself up about making mistakes at any point, because I honestly personally don't even believe in mistakes. I believe that maybe when things don't go as we expected, or as other people have told us they should go a certain way, that's kind of just like a redirection to realign you to the right path. I don't really believe in mistakes. It's either you learn something from it or you're being redirected towards something better. And it's really important not to beat yourself up, because that can be counterproductive in the beginning, especially because if you beat yourself up, you're only just going to continue to feel bad. And when you feel bad, you're not going to want to take action towards your goals. You're not going to want to take action towards what you set out to do, because you feel bad and you think, oh, like, I don't think I can do this. And like, there's so much evidence of me not being able to do this. And it's all in your head. It's all thoughts in your head. And if you continue to judge and criticize yourself, you're only going to find more evidence of that in your reality, and maybe even create things to actually validate yourself and say, oh yeah, you're right, like this is why I can't do this. So don't beat yourself up. It's all a learning experience. There are no mistakes. Let me see if I have anything else. So I have so like one thing that I've struggled with is having a history of abandoning tasks midway. So a way to build self-trust and confidence is to actually just decide, like, choose one thing you want to do for a month, for 21 days, however long you want to do it, where you get to be consistent in that thing, and it's something you actually want to pursue, not just something you think you should do. It's something that you want to pursue, and pick that thing and just go for it and do it. And if you have a history of procrastinating or self-abandoning, which means you kind of put off certain things, or you kind of just like start and then you kind of like, oh no, I'm done, I don't feel like doing it now, that kind of creates mistrust within yourself, because you're kind of just, you're not really like, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Oh my gosh, hang on. This is so funny because this is literally part of doing a live. Is like sometimes you lose your train of thought and then you forget where you were. But let me get back to it, to the point that I was trying to make. So like what I wrote down, which is kind of what happened to me, is I lost trust in my ability to actually go towards a goal, because so many times I would just procrastinate or abandon a task in the middle of it instead of just finishing it. And when I did that, I just created so much mistrust within myself, where I had more evidence of me not going for it, me not being able to finish it, and that was more evidence saying you're not capable. That was more evidence saying this is your identity. You're not someone who is capable, you're not someone who can go towards something and finish it. And so why I mentioned in the beginning that it's important to actually go towards something you want with consistency, with repetition, and actually finish it all the way through, that is what builds confidence. So when you have more of that, you have more evidence of that in your life, and you have more things to look back on to remind yourself that you can overcome this and you are capable, that is what helps. But when you're stuck in this kind of like not finishing tasks and saying you will do things and then you don't do them, you're creating more evidence on this end, and you're kind of just creating mistrust within yourself. And when you say something, you're gonna be like, oh no, I don't trust that I'll actually follow through on this. I don't trust myself. I don't think that I'll actually like finish this. It's either you're going towards one or the other. So choose something that you really want to go after and just take consistent, repeated action and add it to the list. Add it to the list of why you are capable, why you're creating confidence, and why you are going to move towards your goals every day, every single day. So that's kind of what I had for this. And I want to say also that resistance towards taking action can sometimes come from being misaligned, which I think I already said in the beginning. When you take action that is not aligned, you will feel so much resistance because it is not what you're meant to go after. When you're taking actions based on what other people think you should do, based on what your family thinks, based on what society thinks, and just going in logical, linear steps that make sense to other people and appease other people, and you don't have the energy for it and you feel exhausted. I'm a generator, so this is literally how I feel. If I take any actions that don't align with what I want to pursue, I just feel depleted. I don't have the energy for that. And a lot of the time I would think it's me, I'm the problem. Why can't I just have energy for this? Why can't I just pursue something and finish it? But that happens because you're not aligned with what you are meant to go after. That happens because you're trying to please other people over yourself. So keep that in mind, that when you're building self-trust, make sure, and confidence, make sure that it's towards something that you want to pursue. And I have a few affirmations here actually. So one of the big ones that have helped me is, I can do hard things, I am capable, I consistently show up for myself. So do those three. Whenever that thought comes up of like, oh, I can't do it, oh, blah, 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 like, all the nonsense that comes up, this is what you say. I can do hard things, I am capable, I consistently show up for myself. And an activity, I think I already mentioned it in the video, is just taking the time to write all of the things that you've overcome down. It doesn't matter if it went amazingly or if it was mediocre, anything that you have just managed to overcome, even if you just passed it by a little bit, you were oh my god, I almost died doing this, but you did it anyways. Write every single thing down, and this will be your evidence for whenever you're pursuing anything new. So that was it for today's video. I hope that it was helpful, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments below. And I have a few links for books if you want to check them out that have helped me overcome limiting beliefs. And also there is a video about cultivating self-awareness if you would like to learn more about that. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!